Even if you don't hire me, I want you to know that a logo is not meant to do all the work for you. All right. So, some common misconceptions are that, when you see a logo, you're supposed to know exactly what that business is about. Another misconception is that you have to incorporate what you do, or that the logo has to reflect what you do in your business. For example, something that's very common that we all see is either a salon or a hair extension company that has hair flowing into the logo, or they have, this beautiful illustration and the hair is flowing, throughout the logo. And while those are beautiful, it's become something that you're expected to see, but it's not required that, hair companies have some type of flowing hair in their logos. It's just what that company chose for their brand. But that is not, the standard. That's not what is required in any way, shape, or form. And so the reality is that, brand values and the culture of your brand is really what gives your logo meaning. Your logo is meant to identify who you are. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But, some logos have sentimental meaning. So, for example, I've seen someone, put 3 stripes on a logo to represent the founder's family or their children, or, whatever, they felt was important to incorporate into the logo. And so when you put that, expectation on, designers that, this logo has to tell exactly what I do, you're kind of robbing your brand of the opportunity to have a deeper meaning than that sometimes. And so I think it's important to explain once again that a logo is simply a means of identification. It's what you use to have people say, hey, I know that brand. I know that they're trustworthy. They do good work, so on and so forth. So think of it this way. When someone sees you in the street, the first thing they see is your face. In the moment, depending on your actions, they may see what you feel in that moment. So if you're happy, maybe you'll have a smile on your face. They'll see that you're happy. If you're sad, you may be frowning. If you have a resting face that's not so pleasant, they may think that you're mean. But they don't know who you are. They're simply looking at you from the surface. And that's how you should view your logo. It's simply the face of whatever it is that is on the inside of your business. Your brand is focused on how you make people feel. So I mentioned earlier about the culture that you cultivate. And I really love, the brand Nike, because I think they do it so well. So, when you think of Nike, you see the swoosh and you see their typeface and everything. But I'm sure sometimes you wonder, what does that have to do with the brand? I haven't read up on their story yet, but, their culture is what captures people. It captivates people. It pushes you to go beyond the apparel that they create, because it forces you to believe in what you can do as a human being, in the goals that you have, and the dreams that you have. And that's the culture they've cultivated. Even when you see their commercials, you see that they're not necessarily promoting a shoe that came out. They're usually telling a story of someone who is, overcoming adversity, or they've come out of that adversity, or they're working towards something. They're building up themselves. And so that gives you hope. It gives you encouragement for whatever you're going through or whatever you're working towards. And that's the culture that Nike has cultivated. And so you don't just see the swish mark and say, oh, swish, okay, whatever. You see the swish mark and you're like, I can do anything that I put my mind to. And so that's what I mean when I say it's about the culture that you're cultivating. When it comes to your logo, it's simply the face, and what you do behind that is what brings it out and gives it its meaning. And so your logo is just one piece of the puzzle. What you accomplish in your business gives it much more meaning. And so my name is Cynthia. I work here at Gyidi Design Firm as a brand strategist and web designer. And here we create thriving brands that stand the test of time through strategy, because it is important to us that you have a solid brand that does not require constant rebranding. We offer brand strategy workshops to help you get clear on what you offer, who you serve, and how you can serve them. We also offer brand identity, which goes hand in hand with, creating logos and additional brand assets to help people identify you, as we spoke about today. And we also do WordPress web design. And so, as I mention in every episode, you don't have to hire me, but if you do, you'll love it. Like, you will absolutely love it. So, as I end this, even if you don't hire me, I think it's important for you to know that your logo is not meant to do all the work for you. There's more behind that. See you next time.